Now, fam, this next section, I got this ready, fam.
This is all you.
I got my orange pin there, guys. Can you see this right here? That's the orange pill. That's my orange pill, Bitcoin pill. Now, fam, I know you're not like 100% sold on Bitcoin yet. However, I'm going to try to convince you even more today because we got some juicy, awesome stuff that went down in El Salvador, and we're going to show you. So Bitcoin Day was on Tuesday. It was the day that it went legal tender in El Salvador. They're still keeping the dollar. They told everybody they can, if you want to still use the dollar, you don't want to use Bitcoin, you don't have to. But the whole nation went ready. It got themselves a Fire network. It got themselves their own wallet called Chivo, Chivo, and they actually gave people $30 in Bitcoin for signing up on that day. So we have a really quick thread over here. Chivo. And we're going to go through this thread. I'm not going to go through everything here. There's a lot of stuff here. But I'm going to go through a few things and stay on it. But right there, I'm in El Salvador, San Salvador, on Bitcoin Day, starting this thread to keep you posted. My feeling as of this moment, we are witnessing history. So you can see the paper. There it is. They ran out of those papers quickly. The next thread, it says, first thing, obtain a Bitcoin newspaper. We have a feeling that more Bitcoiners had this idea. There were none. Now, here's the parts I want to concentrate. At the protest now, around 150 people at the square protesting against Bitcoin. And we can see that picture right there. So it's not a crazy amount of people, but there is a decent amount of people that are out there that went to protest against Bitcoin. They really didn't give a lot of answers why they want to protest against Bitcoin. Some people in the gay community are saying that they're not getting the attention they deserve. There's a lot of people who said it was just rushed and it's not needed. But there wasn't a huge reason why they are going against Bitcoin. So there's another one. You can see they were marking up a little stuff with the anti-Bitcoin stuff. It wasn't a huge showing, but it was a little one. And then there was another group that showed up right over there. You can say, what does that say? Queremos.
We don't want Bitcoin. # no queremos Bitcoin.
No queremos.
Oh, nadie quiere Bitcoin. Nobody wants Bitcoin.
Yeah, right. They are marching through the streets now. The more groups join. So they did this nice and early. They got out there. Johnny, you can play a little bit of the next one right here. I wouldn't say it's the biggest protest I've ever seen, but it's not insignificant either. Really loud fireworks are being thrown around. So you can see there it is. It's not a huge group, but it's a small group. Earlier that day, too, it's kind of funny. When they stopped doing it, the president, Bukele, he said, they only had the money to fund half a day of protest. They didn't have the money to fund the full day of protest. That's a shame. You can see them still marching on. There's the military getting ready with drones, and they said, government sending drones to keep an eye on the crowd. Things could get a little tense, they said. March ended at the Palacio Legislativo.
Palacio Legislativo.
I was kind of close. We will go back to the center to check out the other side, goal of the day, make a payment with my own Lightning node. Now, remember, even though they had the Chivo, which you can see right there, the ATM, it's a Chivo. That's the government's wallet, but they said you can use any Fire Lightning wallet. I have one that I can use right here. It's called the Strike app. I can use it in El Salvador if I want. It's part of the Fire network. The Fire network's a network built on top of a network, so it's really quick. Here's another guy, the owner of the coffee shop, who was only accepting a chain of transactions. We showed him the Moon wallet, and now he's accepting Lightning as well. This is the power of Bitcoin. And here's another one. People getting on board one at a time. Many of the Chivo wallet stalls in the city. A lot of Chivo officials are here to help interested Salvadoranians. Now, fam, it crashed. It had so many people that were using it that it crashed.
Wow.
They were offering $30 a person to sign up. But later that day, they got it working and everything was fine. And you can see the guy talks about it. I sold $20 worth of Bitcoin. You get a little thing, a little fee, a very tiny fee. Bought $20 worth of Bitcoin. He also didn't pay any conversion fees. So that was really, really cool, the person that was with him. The people, however, are very nice and helpful. They told us that since it was the first day of the application and the ATM has some difficulties, we will just wait for a bit. The weather is great anyways. We also got a sneak peek at the $30 airdrop in the Chivo wallet. So people signed up and they got $30 back. There's more stuff over here. So there was another guy who was complaining about the Lightning Network, the functionality, it wasn't working. So this is a cool one, that old man right there with the paper, Johnny. We saw this old man reading the newspaper. We asked him what he thought. He told us that people need to learn and understand about Bitcoin. P.S. He didn't want to sell us his newspaper. They couldn't get a hold of that newspaper. They really want to get it to document the day. No stickers allowed. So now here's the cool part, right? As the day got longer, right, all the networks started working. Everything started going online. All the Bitcoins were working. We did it. We used the Lightning network at Pizza Hut, fully non-custodial, using our own node back in the Netherlands. Cost 26 sats. This is dope. And then the next one, again, this time paying for a Big Mac with the one and only Radio Satoshi Lightning node. Took some time to figure out the open node configuration, but after the payment went through, as if it was to get my blah, blah, blah in the Netherlands, big up to Zeus. And you can see right there, he bought a Big Mac. Right there, there's a little code using Bitcoin. So recap, I paid $5 for my Big Mac using the thing, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the next one. Apparently, there is a Lightning functionality in the Chivo wallet. If we have the chance, we'll try that out next. Thanks for the information. And here it is, the third time's a charge, paid for a cold brew at Starbucks. Guys, this is the future, hyped as fuck right now. And then the last one, meanwhile in El Zante, these guys are doing some amazing work, and this is Bitcoin Beach. And at Bitcoin Beach, fam, they gave people $50 instead of $30 because they led the way as far as the transitional point in the beta testing of sorts, celebrating this historic day by giving $50 in Bitcoin to each family in El Zante to celebrate the role they played in disrupting the world financial system and showing that financial inclusion is easily attainable with Bitcoin. And you can see the lines. They're all signed up. They're getting in on the act, fam. That was a day of Bitcoin. They were able to go see the protest, the whole 9 yards. Just an awesome fucking thing. So let's get into this a little bit.
Okay, so hold on a second, because you're like, whoo.
Go ahead.
So how will people in this country, El Salvador, the technology is lacking already. How will these people all be able to, especially the working class, be able to have access to being able to use Bitcoin? And how exactly and maybe you can answer this, Johnny, does this disrupt Wall Street?
Yeah. Johnny, you want to answer, or do you want me to jump in there?
From the commie here.
It disrupts Wall Street because it disrupts the banking system, because you don't need a bank. Your wallet is your bank.
Exactly.
And there's a public ledger, and what people do is they verify the transactions on that public ledger. The ledger being it's a sheet that has a bunch of numbers, a unique name for you, and then it shows, okay, you're transferring 5 Bitcoin to this other unique name. And then the way it works is that people verify those transactions, and then it goes through. And then there's a little fee for verifying the transactions. So that's basically how it works. You don't need a bank.
So you take out the middleman.
Yes.
You take out the middleman, which, banks have been seen to cut your funds off. I just saw something the other day that said that the government in Australia is considering, or I don't know if it was in Australia or here, but, oh no, it was here, the IRS. The IRS wants to monitor bank accounts.
Yeah.
They can't do that with Bitcoin.
No.
They can't do that. And that's approaching a fucking super fascistic fucking
absolutely
control of fucking government. It's like, if the IRS is going to monitor it, then what the hell?
Yeah.
You got to get your money off the bank accounts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They want complete control of what's going on, and a lot of that monitoring comes from a lot of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. They want to see the highways, the on ramps and the off ramps. Like Johnny says, it's a unique number that you have. It's a wallet number, and there's not a lot of know your customer tied to those wallet numbers. There is in some cases, but for the most part, it's just a unique number. So yes, they can look at the ledger and they can look at the blockchain, but transactions between people are transactions between people. If you're not coming in and out of a bank and not using a bank, therefore you don't have to pay those fees. It's just a small, tiny, fractional fee, and we're going to get into that because I'm going to talk about remittances.
But how is he providing all this technology? Obviously, you need a phone.
Well, yeah, a lot of people still do have phones, and now they're making sure that the wallets are applicable to the phones that people have. In fact, I think he made an announcement that you can download one of the most bought phones in El Salvador. Will definitely have the app on it, the Chivo app.
Okay.
So I don't know what he's going to do as far as making sure that everybody gets the technology to use the phones.
Yeah, some people
and
may
whatnot.
not. It's going to take a minute, it's
to get caught up.
especially the older population. Yeah.
But the interesting thing what's going on is people are talking about, because they had a $1 billion loan from the IMF in place that they were going to have. And now Bukule, this guy, he's fucking with the IMF sometimes. This guy's really smart. It's like, I don't even think he still wants the loan. Like, he was like, okay, we'll take the loan. We'll take the $1 billion loan. Now, wait, you're adopting Bitcoin. Yeah, but we're going to still have the American dollar. We'll take the loan. Well, they're like, well, we don't know if we want to give you the loan now, right? And he's like, oh, well, really? That's the kind of the mentality. If you watch this guy on Twitter, he's actually toying with the IMF. It says nothing will stop Bitcoin in El Salvador, says the president, after the IMF and the World Bank give him criticism. And I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs real quick, because it's very interesting, just so you can understand what's going on between the IMF and the exchanges between Bitcoin and how they're looking at it when it comes to the world banks. President Bukule said nothing can stop Bitcoin from seeing widespread adoption in El Salvador, and he sees no scenario in which it can be stopped. I don't see anything stopping it. Everything about humans can be stopped, but I just don't see how. It's law. The government's working 24/7 and going into effect in 80 days, he said in a recent podcast. Now, this is a couple months ago. Earlier this month, the Central American nation passed a bill to recognize Bitcoin as a legal tender formally. However, as much as crypto advocates celebrated the news, the response from the IMF and the World Bank have been less encouraging. The reaction has led to hearsay, and the international pressure will stop the El Salvadorian Bitcoin bill from happening. It did not stop it. How the IMF and the World Bank reacted. El Salvador made history on June 8th by passing the Bitcoin law. This gives Bitcoin the same legal status as the country's official currency, the U.S. dollar. In an immediate response, the IMF raised concern that this would interfere with the ongoing negotiations for the $1 billion loan. Like I said, he's almost like screwing with them. Like, we're not stopping Bitcoin. We'll take the loan still. But wait a second. Top El Salvadorian officials replied by saying the U.S. dollar would continue to be the legal tender. In contrast, Bitcoin transactions would be by choice and tied to the dollar exchange rate. Weeks later, El Salvador reached out for technical implementation of its plans. The World Bank gave a resounding denial. A World Bank spokesperson said they could not help due to the environmental and transparency shortcomings of Bitcoin. Now, that's all I wanted to read there, just to keep in mind that, of course, the World Bank is going to point out the dirtiness, you know what I'm saying, the environmental problems and stuff.
Yeah, as if the World Bank care about the environment. Like,
yes.
This is, I mean, yeah. The reason I'm not, I'm not against Bitcoin is because the World Bank and the IMF, and obviously very, very elite people were very much worried about it. Like,
yes.
It obviously worries them that they can't get their hands as easily on it. I still don't put it past these psychopaths to find a way to do something.
Yeah.
So that's just my thing, under the system that we live in. Not saying Bitcoin can't exist in a different type of system. It absolutely could. In fact, it would seem actually better for that kind of system. But that's just, my 2 cents on that.
Well, we got more stuff to convince you with, fam, so hold on there right now. Not only are we dissing the IMF, and look at this meme over here. I love this one. This is from that movie, what was it, with the...
The Mummy?
No, it's not the friggin' Mummy.
Oh, the Spartans.
Spartans! IMF, I can offer you 1 billion... This is Cersei's, I think his name is. I require only that you kneel. El Salvadorians now see that's going to be a problem. Meaning, we don't give a shit right now about your fucking loan. We got something else going on, and we're going to make it work. And then there's another meme over here, which is kind of fun. El Salvador, upon adopting Bitcoin as the legal tender. That's the World Bank knocking on the window, and he's a da-da-da-da.
Is it that song? Oh, it's my favorite song.
I know, fam. That's why I put this in here for you. There's no cat.
There's no Biden and no Trump.
The World Bank is just knocking on the door. Hey, you son of a bitch. Look at the World Bank. She's screaming. She's yelling. So that's what's going on. And that's why for me personally, that's why Bitcoin is so just like appeasing and, you know, so intriguing and stuff. If it's going after the IMF, if it's going after the world banks, we understand this as an imperialist, anti-imperialist. That's the thing they want to do. After they conquer your country, they want to put the IMF, the world banks in there. They want you to use their monetary system, the Rothschilds and everybody else. That's what they fucking want. So if you remove away the IMF and the need for it in the world banks, like, hey, we don't need you anymore. We got our own shit going. Yeah, you got to be careful of a coup coming, and that's the thing we hope that we don't see. But it's just so liberating. That's what Bitcoin is. It's liberating. Check it out. Here's Starbucks, fam.
Sería un pumpkin spice frappuccino grande con leche de almendra, un bacon cruda y un americano grande. Su total sería de 13 con 10.
Perfecto. Ahí está. Listo. Te va a salir a vos.
Sí, hoy sí está aprobado.
Perfecto. Gracias.
Yep. How long did that take, Johnny?
Like 2 seconds. That was really fast.
Right?
I was shocked with that, actually.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the Lightning Network that's built in there. They brought the right people in there to get this done. Now, can you imagine somebody on the street? All you need is a phone now. Let me get a pupusa. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's it. I want to buy a pupusa in the streets with fucking Bitcoin. It's amazing. We saw what the guy did with his whole thread. McDonald's, here or there. I want to see it being used in independent business and small businesses. That's what I want to see. Now, those Starbucks are obviously franchised out to people, whatnot. I want to see the small people be able to use this stuff. I want to see their wealth grow. I really do. They tried to fund these kind of protests and whatnot, and they went after the volatility of it. And it's like, it's too volatile. You're going to ruin the country. People are going to lose money with this whole situation. But Bukele was ready for this whole situation, fam. The whole day, he had it planned. Just take a look at this. So President Bukele just announced that El Salvador officially bought their first 200 Bitcoin. This is the first known nation to purchase Bitcoin. So there was a little dip. Everything went down. It looked like the whales planned to do what they had to do. They had a 10% dip. And you know what happened? Bukele was ready. He reached into the state's pocket and he goes, El Salvador just bought 200 new coins. We now hold 400 Bitcoin. Bitcoin Day.
400 Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Damn.
It didn't even stop then, fam, because he bought more. He waited for the dip.
Yes.
He waited for the fucking dip, and then he thanked the IMF when he did it. El Salvador acquired roughly 21 million worth of Bitcoin on Monday.
It's going to double by the end of the year.
Yes.
21
million on Monday, and then he bought more on Tuesday. Here it goes. It appears the discount is ending. Thanks for the dip, IMF News. He's fucking, he's
like
literally going, hey, thanks, IMF. We saved $1 million in printed paper. We saved $1 million in printed paper. Now El Salvador has
trees.
550 Bitcoin.
Wow.
Bitcoin Day, baby. This guy was ready. You know, when we had Camilla on the show, she talked about some of the things about him that, yeah, you know, it's, but everybody wants to see him succeed. Everybody wants to see him do something with this here. And really, to tell you the truth, he's had everything in play. He's been ready to rock and roll, fam. I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. There's a better part where you're going to go, wait a second. I love this. Johnny, what do we got over here?
It says it doesn't exist.
Oh, it's coming up.
No.
Oh, wait, they deleted the tweet.
Oh. Who was that?
I don't know.
What an asshole. Was this the one where he mocked American corporations?
Yeah.
All right, you know what it is? The article was there. Shit. Let me see if we can find it. They deleted the tweet. It was a CNBC tweet. If you look under El Salvador's new Bitcoin wallets could cost Western Union and similar companies $400 million a year. Fam, this is the part where I was waiting. I said, you're going to love this. Okay? El Salvador's new Bitcoin wallets could cost Western Union and similar companies $400 million a fucking year. Look at the highlight points of this. In 2020, El Salvador received nearly $6 billion in remittances, which accounted for about 23% of its gross domestic product. So in other words, money that's sent from the States to El Salvador is about 25%, 1/4 of their gross net product. In other words, people come here, they work, and they send that money back. But every single time you send that money back, you got to pay the Pied Piper, Western Union.
Yeah.
And it costs a shit ton of money.
It costs a shit ton of money.
A shit ton of money. But now, with the Lightning Wallet, I can just go, okay, let me send my friend, let me send the Wanaka money in El Salvador, bloop, 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 and they send it right away. And it's fractions on the dollar.
Yeah. And this was a problem before Bitcoin, where if you're an American and you're trying to send money to your relatives back in South America, it's so expensive.
Yes.
I remember my parents would always do it.
Yes.
And it was way more expensive. And so then now,
this
with
feature
Bitcoin-
alone, Johnny,
with Bitcoin, it literally takes seconds.
and it's
To-
a fraction.
seconds.
So instead of it says President Bakule estimates that money services providers like Western Union and MoneyGram will lose $400 million a year in commissions for remittances, thanks to the country's Bitcoin adoption. It's going to cost them $6 million a year instead of $400 million a year. $6 million instead of $400. Some of 70% of Salvadorian population receives remittance payments. 70%, fam.
Wow.
3/4 of the country receives some form of remittances, and now we go, fuck you, Western Union. We're not going to have to wait 3 days. We're not going to have to pay this money. And who gets that saving, fam? The people. The people. In other words, we can say that El Salvador citizens collectively gonna save $400 million a year.
That's a lot
Fuck
of
you,
money.
Western Union. Stuff.
Operations down.
There you go. Bakule put in his tweet that for that one that they took down, he was like, "Aw." That's what he put, he put a crying thing, like, "Oh, you're gonna lose that money. Sorry."
He seems to be trolling them.
He's trolling them. This is amazing. And that's something that's great. Just think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about how awesome that's going to be now. Now you just got to get yourself set up with a phone over there in El Salvador with a Bitcoin wallet, with a Chivo wallet, and somebody's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to send my payment right now."
Yeah.
No more going to Western Union. No more paying those ridiculous fees. No more waiting 3 days to get it.
Right.
La Familia gets the money right away.
And people just gotta learn how to use it. It's not difficult. You can learn how to use it. So that's where it's like I think the government, they have like Bitcoin correspondents there
They have a lot.
where they're like
Yes.
trying to teach people how to use it and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
He's
Yeah,
been
that's
very
what they
prepared
need.
for this, Bakule. He's a young leader of a country. He's less than 40 years old. He's been ready for this. He was ready today to buy stuff. And even still, like when you see the IMF says, well, we have our concerns about the environmental issues, whatnot. He's like, okay, well, we're going to use geothermal energy from our volcanoes to mine our Bitcoin. Remember that he can actually create wealth for his country. It's not a loan to the IMF, which is $1 billion, which is nothing but austerity measures. They count on you not being able to pay that back, so they can put you in further lockdown and hold you further down as a country and keep the brown man down. That's what they want to do. And that's exactly what they can't do now, the IMF, because they do this to indigenous countries all over the fucking world.
They do.
And Bakule just gave you the big two fingers right there. Now, there's another country. Johnny sent me a little tweet the other day, a little Insta Grizzy fam. There's another country that wanted to get into NATO. They thought they were going to get into NATO, but they're not getting into NATO. It's Ukraine. So what is Ukraine doing? They're like, you don't want to let us in NATO? Fuck you. So the parliament has passed a law to legalize Bitcoin in the Ukraine. They're talking about it in Belarus as well. Lukashenko's talking about it. They've got it now legalized in Cuba, Ukraine, Panama, and El Salvador.
Presented a bill.
Well, I'm sorry. Panama has presented a bill to legalize it. They've legalized it in Cuba, Ukraine.
Cuba.
I didn't even know about Cuba.
Gotta go
I gotta
to
do more
Cuba.
research
We
about
gotta
that.
do,
but
God, I gotta go to
You
Cuba.
know, if
That's
Cuba's doing it, it's like, all right.
It's like,
where all the communists at?
hey.
That's what I'm talking about. Bitcoin is freedom. Bitcoin is beaten back.
Well, Cuba is really interesting to me
Yes.
because I want to see how that works in a communist country.
Yeah.
Socialist, technically, still. But, yeah.
But
a
it's
socialist
also for benefit of the country that they can buy stuff, the state, for their people.
Right, that's
using
what I'm
Bitcoin.
saying. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see how that works in that type
Yes.
of setting versus a more capitalist
Yes.
society.
And plus, all the tourism that comes over to Cuba, if they can get it more open, whatnot, Bitcoin's going to just help these people
Yeah,
left
it
and
is.
right.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, but like, so the U.S. sanctions fucking Cuba, right? So
Yeah.
that means they
They're
cut off
hardcore.
They cut off their
They
bank
blockade
accounts.
them.
They cut off their bank accounts and everything like
Everything.
that. So the way that they get around that is by making deals with other countries that are okay that ignore the sanctions, that ignore the blockades, that ignore the trade restrictions, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this will make it easier to transfer money for trade.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Instead of having to go through a dollar currency or a Russian currency or anything like that, you go through crypto, and then you distribute it how you like.
Yeah. No, that's a
Fam,
good point.
The remittance alone, the saving on the remittance and alone. Are you a little bit more Bitcoiner today than you were yesterday?
Yeah.
I knew that. I was like, fam.
I am. I mean, yeah.
Fam's gonna love this.
I mean, I need to see more. Like I said, I want to see how it is in Cuba, where the system is a little different, and see what happens there. You know, I think that would be interesting because Cuba is more of like a place, government wise, that I would like, and so Bitcoin in that setting would be different than anywhere else.
And to people who say they can't afford it right now, I say you got $1 cost average, buy $5 a week of
There you
Bitcoin.
go.
That $5 will be worth like $50 or even $500 because there is a limited supply of Bitcoin that will ever be made.
That's it.
So when that happens, you're gonna have at least your $5 of Bitcoin there, instead of having to pay a lot more later on, right?
Yeah. You can buy $5 worth, $10 worth, $20 worth a week. Just do
Not
that.
financial advice.
Not financial advice. You can. I'm saying if you want to. If you want. That's all you know what I'm saying? You don't have to buy a whole giant Bitcoin, which is worth $48,000. You can buy bits and pieces of it and just stash it away. That's it. And the United States is trying to find ways to go out there and sanction as much as they can. They've now added into the whole capital gains talk. In other words, if you take out money, you cash out your Bitcoin or you cash out your crypto, it's now got to go part of capital gains tax. So that's that. But they're recognizing it. They understand that this is a runaway train, Bitcoin. More than any other ones, other than the other ones. You know, a lot of Bitcoiners call the other ones shit coins. I don't like that necessarily. But Bitcoin, you know, they have the proof of work. It's designed to be attacked, fam. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Bitcoiners talk about it. It's designed to be attacked, so attack it. It's just going to make it big. It's just going to make it grow. It's just going to help all these countries adopt it and say, fuck the U.S. dollar. Because the U.S. dollar is backed by nothing
Yep.
but a bullet and a gun.